This is Gina Scalpone. I am the business owner of Glamhairus. I have been a hairstylist for almost 24 years. In February, it'll be 24 years. I cannot believe that. I come live every week, and today I want to talk about wedding parties. Since I'm a stylist, I've been a stylist, again, like I said, for 24 years and a business owner for almost a decade. My team and I, we go all around the city of Chicago and we do wedding parties and special events, about maybe 8 months of the year. And we go to the suburbs too, and sometimes it's just me going, but for the most part, it's myself and someone from my team, either another hairstylist if it's a large bridal party, or a makeup artist, because I don't do makeup, just do hair. And we go all around the city here in Chicago, and we style hair and makeup. We style clients with hair for hair and makeup for special events, and mostly wedding parties. So I have people ask me a lot of questions about, like, do you ever have a bridezilla? Isn't that so stressful to be there with the bride on the wedding day? Like, they have a lot of questions around that, and I always just feel like I got no good stories. I can think of one person that like really drove me nuts like years ago, but I literally am like, no, I don't have bridezillas. I don't have issues on the wedding day. For me, it's really fun. Half the time I'm emotional and I'm like crying a little bit when the bride's like reading the card from her honey, when her dad walks in the room, when she walks down the stairs with her dress on. I'm like, like it's like me and the crew, me and all her family and friends. So no, the wedding parties are so much fun. So I have 6 steps that I do to create the most memorable and beautiful wedding day for the brides. And myself and my team. Like, I want to have fun too. I don't want to go to work and be like, oh God, it's so stressful, it's so crazy, it's boring, whatever. I want to have fun on their wedding day. So these are the 6 things that I do to prepare in advance to have really good end results for these wedding parties. Now, if you guys know me, or maybe you don't know me, there's this sheet of paper right here that I have taped to the bottom of my ring light. So I'm just looking at that so I can remember the things that I want to say to you guys, because I sometimes just can't remember. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so the first thing is, now this goes for any potential bride. It could even be like a few months ago this happened. It was a bride that I'm actually friends with, and I styled her hair and all her family's hair for her wedding. So I even did this for her. So when the bride first reaches out to me and she's considering hiring myself and or someone from my team for her wedding day, I email back, or text back, whatever kind of communication they've the way they've communicated, which is usually via email. And I always say, can we set up a phone call? Even if it's just a 5-minute phone call. Or it could be 20 or 30 minutes, but I just want to introduce myself. I want them to hear my voice. I want them to know that, like, I'm excited about their wedding day and that they can, like, trust me, hopefully. I feel like hearing someone's voice is better than just reading what they have to say. So anyway, so usually we'll send over our price menu because they usually want that right away. And I say, can't wait to work with you. Can we set up a phone call? So on the phone call, I just ask some questions. I feel her out. I feel like one of my strengths is to be very discerning with people. So I just try to think like, okay, so she needs me to be very hands-on. She needs me to be hands-off. She needs to know all the details. She doesn't need to know the details. So I kind of just feel them out with our first phone call before we even get into anything else. And sometimes they don't book with me, but I always get on the phone. I just want to talk to them for, even if it's 5 minutes, just to kind of go over what our policies are and how we do things and things like that. Not really, I'm not really selling myself because they've already been referred to me, so they're very interested in hiring us, and they've seen the price menu, so they know that the price is in the range that they want to pay. Or all these, they've researched me. They've been to my website, they've been to my social media, so they know who I am and what I'm about through all that. So I'm not really selling myself on this phone call. I'm just more so going over the specifics of, like, our guidelines, our cancellation policies, things like that. So we're all on the same page. We don't have issues with cancellation policies at all, like, ever. We did have one, and actually she still paid 50% because she canceled 6 months before her wedding and already had 8 girls on there. So, and that was like, that ended up very fine. It was a wedding planner. She referred her bride to me, and the bride's regular stylist ended up being available, so she canceled with me. So it was nothing bad in that instance, but that did happen like a year or 2 ago. But we still charged the 50%, which was a chunk of money. But they understood, and it is what it is. But that's the only time I can think of that a bride actually canceled But we still stick by our cancellation policy. So I think it's just so important just to stick by your word. Make up the line, the rules, the guidelines, whatever they are, and just stick by it. And don't bend for anyone. You need to show people how to respect you and your business more so. So that's one of the ways. Okay. So make sure you talk with her, and you got to talk about cancellation policies. Be very thorough with that. Our cancellation policy is in our contract that we send the bride. Even in the price menu, it says at the bottom our cancellation policy. So she's hearing it from me on the phone, then she's reading it on paper, and then there's more communication about it, just to clarify. So we try to communicate the cancellation policy. I have someone on my team, Janice, who manages all my bridal contracts. So she's communicating, I'm communicating it, so it's over communicated. So that's why we don't have an issue with that. So that's one stressful thing to take off the table during something intense like that. And then the other thing is too, it's our job as the wedding vendor, as the hairstylist, as the makeup artist, as the photographer, as the videographer, as the wedding planner, whatever, to over communicate with the bride. Sometimes I feel like I'm stalking them a little bit, but I've always heard people say, no, stalk me, please. I'm going crazy planning this wedding. This, it's overwhelming. So I feel like just stalk them. They usually don't mind. And like I said, I've had people comment like, I appreciate you following up. I just put in my notes on my phone. If I don't hear back from bride X about ordering clip-in extensions or the finish time on her wedding, or if Aunt Mary and Aunt Susan are getting their hair done, I just make notes and I follow up. Not a big deal. They don't care. It's just an email. I'm not like calling them. So definitely just be on top of them with that. And also in that regard, as it gets closer to the wedding, although this isn't the first time I usually communicate this, is how to have all the ladies have their hair prepped. Like our rules are, it has to be a day dirty, has to be washed from the day before or longer. Like if their hair doesn't get that oily that quick, they can wash it 48 hours in advance. Condition the ends only. They have to use a volumizing product on the top of their hair. Can't be flat iron. Like I'm real specific about that because I do 2.5 girls per hour for a wedding party. So I gotta stick to my timeline. If someone comes with wet hair or it's flat ironed or they didn't put conditioner in it or they put conditioner up here, that's kind of an issue for me. So I'm really communicative about how we need to have the girls' hair prepped. That's why we don't have issues on the wedding day either. That's another thing. Okay, and the fourth thing is, like in baseball, not that I'm a sports fan, but when someone's in my chair, I always have someone else on deck. When I'm about 5 minutes from finishing this client in my chair, her hair, I communicate with the bride, or if the bride's not there, I'm like, who's next on the list? Or if there's no list, I'm like, who's next? Whoever is here. No, you can't go get coffee. No, go to the bathroom, but get back here in 30 seconds. So they're just literally lingering right before I'm finishing with this client in my chair. And when this client in my chair gets up to look at her hair in the mirror, I always take a video of the back of their hair in a picture, but when they go in the mirror to look at the front of their hair, I have the other girl hop in my chair, we start communicating, and when the other lady comes back, if she needs a little more tweaking, a little more spraying, I just have her stand for a moment, I turn to the side, fix her hair, and I go right back to her. So there's not even a 30-second delay from one client to the next. So I'm real like a drill sergeant like that. I'm like, nope, you can't go get coffee. Send someone else. Send the fiance. I don't care who it is. Okay, so that's really important. And the brides are always appreciative of not having to be like so stressful on their wedding day. I'm like, you just sit, relax. I'll manage the ladies. I'll make sure I get the next one in my chair. So you just want to make the bride as comfortable and as relaxed as possible. Okay. And the fifth thing is there's other vendors there. So sometimes I'm working with a makeup artist that I don't know, and you just have to work with them. You can't be bossy, and you can't be like, we're working together. We're trying to make everybody look good. So let's all work together. So if the makeup artist is like, oh, I really need to take the bride now or whatever, and I was planning on taking her, but I can go take another girl, then fine, let her take the bride. Like, just work with the wedding planner, the other wedding vendors. Like, the photographer comes in the room and you're all done with the hair, but they need you to do a fake spray like you're spraying. Just work with them. The more professional you are with the other vendors, it A, just makes you look good. It helps with your reputation. And B, it makes the bride happy. I've heard often that the bride will say, oh my gosh, the makeup artist loved you, or oh my gosh, the photographer was having so much fun with you. I'm like, I want them to feel like I'm one of the family members or friends there as part of the wedding party. So I try to be very professional and flexible and just like relaxed so I can work with the other vendors and just make everything run smoothly. So keep that in mind. And the last thing I will say is, if the finish time, let's say, is 1 o'clock, if you need to have all the girls ready, hair and makeup by 1, the way I schedule it myself and my team, we actually finish them all by 12:30. We give a 30-minute cushion. Sometimes I communicate that with the bride, sometimes I don't, but really, like if we finish at 1 o'clock when they want us to finish, I consider that being late. So you have to finish at least 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes before the finish time. Because brides will always say to me, oh wow, you guys are so fast, you guys finish early. And the number one complaint I hear, I don't know number one, but the things that upset brides a lot that I hear, and it's not someone from my team, they'll say the makeup artist ran late, the hairstylist ran late and finished us and made us run late for the pictures. Like, that's a no. Even, let's say you get there a few minutes late, which isn't a good idea either, but you hustle to make sure those girls are done before the finish time. So that's the last thing I would say that helps myself and my team have awesome wedding days with our brides. So I hope this information helped you guys out. I would love for you to be on my email list. You can go to glamhairus.com/mindset, and I will get you on my weekly emails. I talk about behind the scenes of my business. I share fashion and hair tutorials, some personal stories, and I send them out every Monday. So if you sign up for my email list now, you'll get a 5-step mini course on how to have the right mindset to achieve any goal that you want. So go to glamhairus.com/mindset. Thank you guys so much for coming live with me. I hope this information helped you out. Please share it with your friends. If you are a hairstylist or makeup artist, you're in the wedding industry, and you're like, hey, I know my friend could really find some really good use out of this, share this with them. Tag them in this video. I would love that, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.